Would you like to learn from those that are taking their lives, their businesses, and their passions to the next level? Best-selling author of Speakeasy and master connector Lou Diamond is here to connect you to some of the most inspiring and amazing people on this planet. Get ready to thrive loud with Lou Diamond.
Welcome, everyone, to another awesome, amazing, simply mind-blowing episode of Thrive Loud with Lou Diamond, connecting you to the most inspiring and amazing people that are thriving each and every day. I'm your host, Lou Diamond, and today, listeners and viewers, I ask you, are you in the right mindset right now? Because I have a feeling at the end of this episode you will be, because we have a mindset expert, motivational speaker, celebrity hypnotist, and author who delivers high-energy corporate entertainment in growth mindset, motivational keynotes. You guys got to check it out. We'll send the links afterwards to see the awesome stuff that this individual does. He reveals how our mindset can be the greatest tool in achieving new heights, reducing stress, increasing productivity, and your potential. Thrive Loud listeners, excited to have a fun conversation today with Ricky Kalmon. Ricky, welcome to Thrive Loud.
Lou Diamond, what a pleasure and an honor to be on this show. Thank you so much.
The honor is mine, and listeners will understand why very shortly. Ricky, what I want to do here is a little rewind. We had a chat beforehand. We don't need to go all the way back to the womb and go back that many years. But I want to do for our listeners and viewers is kind of understand how this became the focus of what you do each and every day.
Well, like you, we both been in the business a very long time. I created a very unique comedy show. I'm a hypnotist for corporate events that really rapidly became a motivational program and an empowering program. So on a typical situation, I would start with doing my comedy show for events and sales conferences, user groups, client events. Doesn't make a difference. But what happened was, Lou, it was the conversation after the show. It's not what people expected. They wanted to know more. How did that happen? How could I use it? How can I reduce stress? And so it very easily became a second program, and a brand of Leverage Your Mindset became a keynote that I would do the next day after I did my show, or even the same day. And it literally became a very natural thing for me to talk about because I just validated in the show. They had so much fun. I come in as their speaker. And the cool part is I didn't have to prove anything. I just showed you. I just showed you how it worked. And now I have your attention. And who wouldn't want to reduce stress or feel better, or be a better version of themselves, or sell more, or be a better solution provider versus a salesperson, a better leader? I mean, come on, the list goes on. And you teed it up so perfectly. Mindset, powerful catalyst in our success and sometimes our failures. So I show people how to get out of their own way. How did this all started? It was just a natural transition, and I absolutely love every day doing what I do.
I love it. You can tell by his energy, you kind of want to learn more. And I want to get this part in. I think whether from television or the old days when you would see somebody, we'll call them psychologists or psychiatrists trying to use hypnotherapy and all these things, or hypnosis to resolve childhood issues or get people to stop smoking or whatever it might be, right? There was all these things, the power of really tapping into our mind. And I totally agree with where you're going here, that there's something that if we get ourselves in the right mindset, there's so much benefit that can happen from it. But why is it taken so long? I think it's a good question, right? Like we know that there's something to this. How come it's taken so long for us to recognize that by tapping into different parts of this large knot thing in my skull up here, which doesn't have a lot of protection, obviously. I would love to know from your point, what's been the delay in maybe the common acceptance of this?
That is an absolutely great question. In fact, I'm so glad you asked that. That is half my career, is literally dispelling the misconceptions. It is dispelling the preconceived outcomes that happen when we think of a hypnotist, the swinging watch, putting people in a trance, making them do things. And why has it not become more acceptable? It's hard to really pinpoint what that answer is. The good news is that mindset's not just a buzzword anymore. It's just not a checkbox. People are becoming more open to, hey, listen, professional golfers have talked about using a hypnotist. And that's what I do with my clients, is teaching them how to lower their scores. It literally has become more recognizable as a hard skill, Lou, versus a soft skill. So when you help yourself train your brain better, you become better at your talent. And so I think it's becoming more recognized because more people are becoming more open to talking about it. Professional athletes to corporate executives, it's not this fuzzy, soft, feel good, meditation. It's meditation and has power. I mean, there's a reason why the Navy SEALs use this type of training. There's a reason why corporate cultures take time for their teams, not at the once a year conference to embrace mindfulness. They make it part of their culture and they give them the time to do it. And I think it's just the more we talk about it, and people like yourself having me on, and which I'm so grateful that we're talking about this, we jump right to that. What's the value of mindfulness and meditation and relaxation and guided thought? Well, your best of intentions. Let me help you clear all the clutter so you can put them to action.
I need to clear some clutter on a clarification that I think our listeners may be thinking about. And if they're not, then maybe I'm the only one thinking about it. But anyway, hypnosis, and meditation. I know that it's kind of like there's some kind of cousin relationship going on here. Can we talk a little bit about what's going on from your expertise? The similarities, the differences, because like I have this joke my family has made fun of for years. Sometime when I was probably around 20 years old, working as a counselor in a summer camp, they did a group hypnosis, and I really was hypnotized, by the way. And I don't remember a lot of what had happened. There's some interesting video out there on probably VHS footage. I digress. But the two, but together, I get how effective meditation can be. We've had somebody on this show gave the best description that after they meditate, it's like pulling back an arrow and being able to focus more often. Help me connect the dots with hypnosis and meditation.
Well, I really downplay the hypnosis part of what I do. I downplay that I'm a hypnotist because I'm going to just lean in. Here it is.
Yeah.
I actually think that all hypnosis is self-hypnosis. And I actually identify this as what I call self-hypnosis meditation. I've done this for 35 plus years. I've hypnotized hundreds and thousands of people. And I tell you that not to impress you at all. I tell you that to inspire an audience that might be a skeptic, might be a little analytical or pessimistic. We are all a hypnotist in ourselves. Let's wait. The most powerful hypnotist in the world is ourselves. So I'm not hypnotizing anybody. In my entire career, I'll even say and joke about it on stage. I'm not hypnotizing you. You're hypnotizing yourself. I don't have control over you. You have control over yourself. All I'm doing, like a conductor or a coach of a team or an athlete, I'm just guiding you. And if you accept the suggestion, that's totally up to you. So when we talk about hypnosis, if you are following the technique itself of breathing and visualization, aren't you just doing it to yourself?
Mm-hmm.
And of course, so if you have an intention, you have a frustration or a doubt, you put it there. Let's figure out what serves you best and how I can help you redirect and reset your direction. So to answer your question, I think they're both very synonymous. Meditation, people will say, is being present and clearing your mind. Hypnosis to me is the focus of effort to influence an outcome. You add those two together, relaxation, presence, calmness, you bring in a suggestion that resonates, it rules your world.
I need to call Ricky before every round of golf I play. Absolutely. Just laughing.
Oh, I have shown athletes and corporate executives from the guy next door how to lower their lower their score, their handicap. And literally what happens is they end up hiring me to come and work with their sales team because it's a powerful thing. I have one of my clients that was a 5.9 handicap to a 1.6 in 3 months. And he is singing. He's my walking billboard, talking about it every day to his friends at the country club. And it's just a spiral effect.
I love it. So whether it's to increase your golf game's effectiveness or lower your handicap, or to increase your bottom line, I get you're helping people focus and get in the right mindset to focus on what they need to be doing, leading better, managing better, communicating better. And a lot of that has to do with avoiding the clutter around, right? There's so much
Right.
noise out there. And so there's definitely an element of focus that you get people to work on. I've always made this comment that I found it amazing I was an undergraduate business major, and there was never a course in leadership. It also seems like there should be a course in growth mindset. Uh, in the work that you do and helping people find that laser focus, Ricky, what is the most common challenge that these top performers are facing today?
I think you said it best. Clutter is all around us. The influence of other people's conversations, opinions, the preconceived outcomes of direction, meaning we listen to the news, we listen to social media, it frustrates us, and then it rules our world. And what I start with in every program is while we cannot control what other people say, other people's actions, other environment or influences, we can control how we perceive and react to it. So you can identify when it walks in the room. You can say, okay, I understand, because listen, we all have stuff, right? I mean, Lou, we have personal lives, we have our families, we've got junk going on in our head. We got our to-do list are always getting full. They're never really empty, right?
Yeah.
So the point is that I think we have to acknowledge we're human. So if you're a corporate leader running a multi-billion-dollar company or starting out as a young entrepreneur in a franchise business, sometimes the biggest obstacle is not what you see. It might not be your product or the environment or the economy or the distribution that's causing the biggest problem right now. It could be what you're thinking about and how you perceive it and how you register it in your brain. Because, I mean, how many times have you ever said to yourself, I can't, or it's not possible? I mean, we're human. We say, the hypnotist will say it. But when we say something, our mind hangs on to it. Yeah. It believes it and just fulfills it unconsciously. So I'll tee it up with this. How unconscious are we of our unconscious programming that's making the decisions in the background, the software that's running in the background of our brain? And my job, my calling, my career is all about teaching people that they have that remote control. It's a lot easier than you think. It starts with relaxation, but it goes into a deeper dive of how your software is running in the background.
Ricky, drinking your own Kool-Aid. Obviously, you're speaking, you're helping people, you're consulting, you're giving advice and messages across the globe. Help me understand how you're able to put this into action for yourself. Is there something different that maybe you need to do for you versus what others you're giving the advice to, or is it one and the same? I'd love to hear how you're able to get yourself to reduce your stress and get more focused in your growth.
Sure. So I'm now on my third book that will come out next year. But the cool thing is, and I just had this conversation last night. I learn every time I do something. I mean, I'm a creature of a student of life, and that self-discovery never ends. I'm not perfect. I'm in a household with two girls, so I'm never right. But the point is that I think that when you hold yourself accountable, even I make mistakes, even I, get things wrong, and I have to reset and redirect. But when the call comes and I need to walk on stage, I leave my personal situations away because somebody expects when I walk on to have my A game. Right before you said, let's record, regardless what happened this morning, what I have to do later on today, my purpose right now is our conversation and being present. And that's the hypnotist inside of me saying, whatever happened this morning, if the person cutting me off of the highway or whatever, it doesn't make a difference. You can't let that rule your present moment. And I have to also be in check on a regular basis too. So I have logged into my own app. I've listened to my own programs. My family used to joke with me, like, you're listening to yourself, put yourself into that awareness. I said, yes. First of all, I'm checking the quality. I'm checking everything else, but I actually will listen to my own audio programs. I've been doing self-hypnosis my entire career. I sleep amazing. My family jokes. I'm out in 10 seconds. When I say I'm going to bed, I am out in 10 seconds, gone. Because I start with self-hypnosis and I naturally progress into a deep sleep.
I love it. Okay, so listeners need to know that when we get a lot of inquiries for people to come on the program, and I'm trying to elevate every single guest that we have, which is not easy to do because everybody is so awesome and amazing. And every now and then there's a certain topic that resonates with yours truly. For those who do not know this, I happen to love hitting that little white golf ball whenever I can, or yellow, or whatever color they are these days. Although recently I hit a different colored golf ball and I couldn't find it. So it makes a difference. But your latest work is obviously on your Leverage Your Mindset series, is focused on leverage your mindset for golfers. I want to give this background that one of my favorite books of all time is Golf is Not a Game of Perfect by Dr. Bob Rotella, who is one of the most storied mind coaches, if you would, or mental coaches for professional golfers on the PGA Tour. He literally probably opened the doorway for that. And
He did.
I would love to understand why you wanted to make the focus on golf in this particular case, and what was maybe the biggest surprise as you were putting this content together that you, like, for yourself as you were sharing this and said, oh my God, I never thought of it that way, or something that related specifically to those who like to swing the golf club.
So my early career started with literally creating audio programs because people were so fascinated with what happened. So my first programs were on a cassette tape, from weight loss to quit smoking and reducing stress. And then we went to CDs, and that became extremely popular. So I created a series of other CDs from sales and customer service. And yes, I was getting a request for golf. So we did one on golf. Fast forward a little bit. In 2020, I released the first book, Leverage Your Mindset, that's supported by my mobile app, which is my name, Ricky Kalmon. But what happened was people were diving into it and they were requesting more on golf. And then I would get my C-suite, high-level executives. I'd walk off stage and they'd say, okay, that was really cool for my sales team, my leadership, but what's it going to take to help, for you to work with me on my golf game? And I started doing it, and it became very natural. Don't even advertise it. Well, it became extremely popular within a quiet group of people. And it was funny. I was talking to the publisher and I said, I know we're working on my next book, but I think I'm going to put a pause on the book and we're going to work on Leverage Your Mindset for golfers. And I learned so much about how it's so synergetic. What happens in the back nine happens in the boardroom. And what happened is that my clients were not only lowering their scores, but they were coming to me and saying, there's more value than just golf here. I'm a better leader. I'm less stressed. I'm more focused. I'm thinking differently, personally and professionally. And then I said, okay, there's a book. So that was an easy transition. And Lou, here's the funny thing about it. And I've no secret here. I'm not a golfer. So I tell them right off the bat, I'm on these amazing courses, beautiful around the world. I have literally been to some of the most beautiful country clubs and golf courses. I don't play, but I love the game. I really do love the game. And I've helped them with so much, but I always tell them, don't ask me about mechanics. Although I do know and see things, but I'm not going to correct your mechanics. I'm going to get your mechanics to actually partner with your mindset. And that's the best caddy of all.
I love it. We have, there's a couple of people who I golf with who are phenomenal at coming up with a routine that's that you could almost set a stopwatch to them, that no matter what shot it is on the golf course, they have a set practice routine. And part of that, which I don't know, is what's going on between their ears. And it could just be a word, it could be a thought, it could be a visual, and they utilize that in a rhythm. And when they're on, like I know that sometimes you can't get into a conversation with them, but there are others who are exactly the opposite, where they're not even thinking. They're just up there having a great time, enjoying a walk, enjoying being outside, and not really concentrating as much. And they're playing a wonderful game of golf because they've relaxed themselves and taken the stress out.
That's right.
And I think that whether they know it or not, they're doing something for themselves to get them in that place. And we all know that when we're stressed or we're tense or we tighten up, you're not going to play your best anything. Doesn't matter what sport it is. I think that's pretty much the truth. Results that you've seen or feedback that you've gotten either from the book or from people who've used your advice, something that made you just warm up inside from learning that. I'd love you to share that with any of the listeners or any of the viewers out here.
I'm going to piggyback what I said a few moments ago. I had a client that I worked with on their golf game came to me and said that CEO of a company had to present to the board and use the technique to be more calm and more effective and a better listener and be more prepared with confidence and belief before a big, huge, board meeting. And he didn't even actually tell me about this till afterwards. He didn't even ask me, he just started realizing what we're applying in sports can apply to business. I have another client that wasn't seeing as fast results in his golf game. This was a private coaching. And the funny thing is he came back to me and goes, yeah, but my tennis game is just on fire. I go, wait a minute, you play tennis? He goes, yeah. And I go, why didn't you tell me? He goes, I thought this was just for golf. I said, think about what we're talking about. It applies in every sport. And both tennis and golf are a thinking game. So you have time to think. You have time to pause. And sometimes when you pause, the wrong thought comes into play. And then once we talked about it, he realized, wow. And then we went back to golf, and then he started seeing the more results in golf. I think it's very cool. For all these years, I've always done these platform programs, and I still continually love doing those. But I've really loved the private one-on-one coaching that I've gotten into with these very gracious individuals. I mean, I had a call from a client today. I'm going to pick you up on my plane, and we're going to go to a certain club. And I'm like, cool, let's go. I mean, I was like, let's do it. I mean, I was like, and we spent the entire day together. And at the end of the day, the first thing he said goes, this was really valuable. And I'm like, okay, you see the value of investing in your mindset. And that's an investment in yourself that can exceed your own expectations on every level.
Love it. Let's do the admin part of the show, Ricky. Share with the listeners all the places people can find you.
Lou, you're so kind. And again, this has been a great conversation. But as far as what I do, you can find me online at rickykalmon.com. That's RICKYKALMON.com. You can find my books on Amazon, Leverage Your Mindset, the series, or you can download my mobile app. If you're intrigued, if I have your attention, start today. Don't put off what you should be doing today. You can download my app. Go to your app store, whether it's Android or Apple. Just search the title. Guess what? Yes, Ricky Kalmon. Start leveraging your mindset today. And when you do that, you change the way you think, and it changes your entire world and your perspective. So thank you. So your questions have been spot on, and I really do love the time that you put into finding out. Even though we kind of knew each other, you really did some great research, and I'm very humbled by that, because I've done shows and I'm so grateful. But when somebody like yourself, really invests in finding out more about their guests and finding out what to ask to provoke the right questions, thank you very much.
It's my pleasure, and this is as softball as it gets, Ricky. I'm not trying to knock you down. This is great stuff. Let alone the fact that it's really interesting that you are focused on the growth mindset piece, where my whole goal is to lower my score on my golf course. I just want to make that clear. I'm trying, my growth will be better golf, not my scorecard number, because if I think growth, it's going to start going the other direction.
I'm going to hold it up right now. Here's the book, Leverage Your Mindset for Golfers. I'm going to sign a copy today for you, for Lou. We're going to get it out for you. And then you're going to reach out to me and you're going to tell me, okay, this is really cool.
I love it. Well, thank you. And great to have you here. We are ready to go. I'm going to ask you, are you ready to go down Fun Street here on Thrive Loud?
I am absolutely ready. Fire them at me.
Okay. Let's ease on to this. And I've been asking this question with people who are dancing around sports movies. So I'm usually asked, what's your favorite movie? But I'm going to ask you whether it's a Mount Rushmore amount, you can't exceed 4, or it's your favorite. What is your favorite movie about golf?
Oh, man. Here's the thing. I'm going to give you a really weird answer here. Godfather.
Oh, wow. Keep going. I'm listening.
You know why? Because it's life lessons.
Yes.
They're life lessons. It's family, it's business, it's fortitude, it's resilience, it's everything. I mean, every time I talk about that movie, people go, "Oh, I've seen it 1,000 times." Why? Why? Well, I mean, you start going, okay, how does it apply in everything? So there's your answer.
On episode 200, which is now over 900 episodes ago. I need help. Anyway, on episode
So cool.
200, we did, Ricky, a movie countdown because I asked the movie question every time, and we ranked the movies. And The Godfather, needless to say, was the number one. I think Shawshank Redemption was 2, and Rocky might have been 3. But with that, and that was just a small sample set. But fascinating. That's probably still the case, that it is that part. And to think of it as a golf movie is pretty cool. I like that. Okay. We're going to do the speakeasy pub crawl, stop off at all the fun places that mean the most to Ricky. Here we go. Ricky, of late, is there a song or a jam that you've been listening to or one that pumps you up?
Yes. Fragile by Sting.
Oh, I like that too. Favorite food that is not a dessert?
Sushi.
Favorite dessert?
Oh, wow. Cookies.
Are you a chocolate chippy kind of guy, or is there another kind of cookie you like?
No, they have to be, yes, I am, but they have to be a cookie that snaps. I'm not a big fan of the soft. It feels like a cake. I'm not really sure what I am. I'm a muffin. I like it to crack. It's got to crack, and I'm very particular about this.
I like that. I'm in your camp on that. There's got to be a break. Totally. An activity you wish you did more of?
Swimming.
An activity you wish you did less of?
That's really interesting. I'm stumped on that one. An activity that I wish I did less of. Why? I do everything I do, I love.
There you go.
So that's a really hard one to even answer. I don't think there's anything I would stop doing.
Oh, there you go. A new activity, one you've recently tried, Ricky Kalmon, that you like so much, you want to tell everybody else to try.
Oh, wow. New activity. Listening better.
Ooh, great.
So, and I guess I always try to be a good listener, but, I'm a creature, as we talked about this. I love to be, a student of life. And I would like to listen more to what's going on around me and observe the world a little bit more than I have. Sometimes I do. I'm at a very fast paced. I'm on an airplane all the time. I'm starting to observe the surroundings more. It's not necessarily the people around me. I'm starting to stop and watch people, watch their mannerisms, listen to them.
I find that interesting just from the sense that for someone that is helping people become more focused, that maybe you would be listening more. But that's obviously interesting that you want to do more of it. Am I wrong on that? Just diving in.
Well, let me digress a little bit.
Yeah.
Like I was in New York a couple weeks ago, and I sat and just watched the world around me.
Got it. Take it.
While I was on an airplane just 2 days ago coming back from Dallas, I just sat at the airport. Instead of me looking at my phone or looking at something else, I just kind of listened and watched, the people and environment. I think I learned from that. And so I thought that was kind of cool. And I think it gave me a better perspective because I saw a family. I saw somebody that was frustrated, made me appreciate maybe me going home and being with my family. So when I say listen more, I just want to be listening and watching the world around me a little bit more because I think,
like it.
Yeah, I think we spend too much time on looking at our downtime, looking at our phone. I've always said this. I try to turn it off, but I could be a better version of that as well.
Before I close us out here on the speed round, one more for you, or two more for you actually, but here it is. You've said you've visited some of the most spectacular, amazing golf courses or places around this country. Is there one that sticks out above them all?
Golf courses? Because I'm going to get myself in trouble because I work with a lot of people. I think Whisper Rock in Scottsdale is a beautiful, magical place. I think it's a really cool, they refer to it as the Rock. is there's something about it. There's something magical about just, I don't know what it is. I can't put my finger on it. I mean, we all like, Pebble, and there's all these beautiful places, and they are amazing. Something about that one course just is pretty cool.
If I could snap my fingers and Ricky Kalmon can be anywhere in the world, where is he?
Always home. That's my first choice. Italy, maybe second. Yeah, it's probably, it's one of my favorite places to go. So Italy, home first, Italy second.
Like it. Ricky Kalmon, leverage your mindset. And thank you so much for coming on Thrive Loud. Thank you for what you're doing. This is great stuff. And I'm going to have to keep my focus. I look forward to checking it out and hopefully not overthinking too much, but getting myself in the right mindset. Thank you for doing what you're doing, my friend.
Oh, pleasure's all mine. Thank you.
You got it. To all our listeners and viewers out there, thank you for joining us. Till next time, keep moving onward and upward. And remember, be brief, be bright, be gone.
You've been listening to Thrive Loud with your host, Lou Diamond. Check us out on the web at thriveloud.com and follow us on Instagram, LinkedIn, Twitter, and Facebook at Thrive Loud. And check us out on the Good Pods app at Thrive Loud, where you can follow, listen, and connect directly to Lou and all of the Thrive Loud episodes. Thanks for listening.